This meeting of the Community Development Board is called to order on April 20, 2021. Welcome, everyone. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This board consists of 7 members and 1 alternate who are appointed by the City Council and serve voluntarily. I'm Mary Lau, and I will ask the other members and staff to introduce themselves, beginning on my left.
Mike Flannery.
Brian Barker.
Jordan Behar.
Jay Dango, attorney for the board.
Gina Clayton, Planning and Development.
Michael Fuino, assistant city attorney.
Andy Park.
Michael Boutsikas.
John Quattrocki.
Please remember to turn off your cell phones so that they do not become a distraction during the meeting. Please also refrain from having conversations in this room so that we might hear all the testimony given today. To ensure a complete record of this board's actions, we ask that each individual wishing to speak, including the applicant, speak into the microphone at the podium in front of us, clearly state your name, and spell your last name for the clerk. Now I will ask all those in attendance today who plan to speak to please rise and be sworn in by the clerk.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth throughout your entire testimony?
Agendas of today's meeting are on the podium to your left near the entry door. Also on this podium are a roster of the Community Development Board, the list of city staff experts and their resumes, the board's rules of procedure, and the annual schedule of this board. Our first order of business is to review and approve the minutes from last month's meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are approved. The next order of business is if there is anyone here who would like to address an item of business that is not on today's agenda. Seeing none, we'll move on. This board has adopted a consent agenda format, and the consent items are identified as such on the agenda. Consent agenda items are those items for which the Planning and Development Department recommends approval. The applicant is in agreement with any proposed conditions, and no written objections to the case have been received to date. Items may be removed from the consent agenda today by a member of the board, a member of the staff, or any person in the audience for questions or objections. I will read each item on the consent agenda, and if any person wishes to remove that item from the consent agenda, please so state or raise your hand and we will remove it from the consent agenda. Items removed from the consent agenda will be heard in the regular order of the meeting. Items that remain on the consent agenda will be approved with a single vote. Item number 1, case FLD 2020-12028 at 534 Mandalay. The owner is the City of Clearwater. The applicant is Jeff Walker from the City of Clearwater Engineering Department. The location is a slightly over a half-acre portion of a 3.561-acre parcel located on the southwest corner of Bay Esplanade and Mandalay Avenue. The Community Development Board is reviewing a proposed 11,468 square foot fire station in the Institutional Zoning District and Old Florida Character District of Beach by Design for the property located at that site. Is there anyone who would like to remove this item from today's agenda?
Madam Chair, I don't wish to move it from consent, but I do have to recuse myself. I have a conflict with this item.
All right, thanks. All right, case number 2, case FLD 2020-10023, located at 1520 Jeffords Street. The owner is WC Assets LLC. The applicant's representative is Todd Pressman of Pressman & Associates. The location is 1.376 acres located at the western termini of Jeffords and Budley Streets, approximately 200 feet north of Berry Road. The board is reviewing a 61-unit attached dwelling use, including a minimum of 15 affordable units in the high-density residential district for the property at 1520 Jeffords Street. The proposal utilizes the existing 72-foot tall building and requests some flexibility on use, density, height setbacks, and parking and landscaping. Does anyone wish to remove this item from today's consent agenda? Seeing none. Item 3, case FLD 2020-10021 at 1471 South Missouri Avenue. The owner is 1471 South Missouri LLC. The applicant is Bill Botello Custom Building Solutions in Bradenton, Florida. The location is .378 acres, located on the east side of South Missouri Avenue, approximately 225 feet south of the Bellevue Boulevard and South Missouri intersection. The Community Development Board is reviewing an addition to an office building located in the commercial district for that property. The proposed addition has a height of approximately 11 feet and requests flexibility to setback and landscape requirements. Is there anyone who would like to remove this item from today's consent agenda? Our final item, number 4, is case FLD 2020-12026, 2991 Gulf to Bay Boulevard. The owner is BVT Bainbridge Bayview Owner LLP. The applicant is Kevin Keene, BVT Bainbridge Bayview Owner. The location is 5.595 acres, 4.341 acres more or less above the mean high water line, and the request is a 994 square foot pier from the mean high water line in the US 19 district for the property at this location. Is there anyone who wishes to remove this item from today's consent agenda? All right. In view of Mr. Barker's conflict on case number 1, may I have a motion to approve it by itself?
I still move
All right.
to read it.
Making it, or you want me to?
Oh, maybe more Mr. Parker.
I'll go ahead and move.
Thank you.
I move to approve item case number FLD 2020-12028 on today's consent agenda based on the evidence in the record, including the application, the staff report, and hereby adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law stated in the staff report with conditions of approval as listed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Right, item 1 is approved. May I have a motion with respect to the 3 remaining items on the consent agenda, 2, 3, and 4?
I move to approve items 2, 3, and 4 on today's consent agenda based on evidence in the record, including the application and the staff report, and hereby adopt the findings of fact and conclusions of law stated in the staff report with conditions of approval as listed.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Items 2, 3, and 4 are approved. The next item on our agenda is director's items. All right, before we adjourn the meeting, Mr. Daniel, we have some new board members, and I'd appreciate if you could just give a 2-second description of the policy that we adopted previously for making contact with staff, people on any items that we receive materials on.
Okay. You're kind of catching me cold there.
I know, I'm apologizing.
Okay. I believe our policy was that contact with staff was appropriate if necessary to answer questions, but beyond that, we should attempt to limit contact where possible.
Right, and then I believe I'm supposed to ask if anyone has had ex parte communications with staff on any particular item.
On a contested hearing, you're free to
Okay.
ask if anyone's had ex parte communications with staff,
Okay, perfect.
and if there is any inability to render a fair and impartial decision in light of that contact.
All right, thank you. Any other items to come before the board? If not, we're adjourned.